Darko. Thank you so much for joining me on the show again. I want you to reintroduce yourself.
I am a Ghanaian entrepreneur, trainer as an engineer, and write books.
I had a text message from the BBC. Does Africa need to have billionaires?
BBC. Focus on your BBC. Any country who is serious about the development of its people is also very serious about what the people get to hear.
We don't use the media in Ghana to portray positive things.
You cannot require or expect anything from any people that you have not intentionally trained. In our system, you're just like orphans, trying to think that there is a father somewhere who will come.
A lot of businesses fail because of friends and family.
The family member that you should employ, I think, should be the one who sees your importance.
It comes so humble, but then when you give them the opportunity, they stab you in the back.
They will let you down, but outsiders will also let you down. So when there's changing character, you have to change your position. Just like the president now. If the administration fails, he cannot blame his ministers.
If you had one piece of advice, what advice would it be?
The best way to have freedom and to build wealth is business. You should be able to organize your money to a state where money starts to give you money.
I had to get Mr. Obing Darko back in the studio because the questions, the emails from the first interview drove everybody crazy. I don't know if you know.
No.
But people were like, no. Some agreed with you.
Yes.
Some didn't agree with you. But obviously we spoke about the diaspora coming back. But today I really want to delve into how come Ghanaian businesses don't thrive or they collapse. Is it due to family members? Is it due to friends? Are we relying too much on our friends or family? You know, just delving into more of finances, getting money to even start up your business. So I want you to reintroduce yourself. Obviously, you are an author, you are a speaker. I've also got you to speak to our team, which I think encouraged them in many ways. So thank you so much for doing that. And I know that you've been speaking at schools. The fact that you're even going to schools to impact the young generation now, for me, is really key. The youth is the future. So for people that don't know you, please give us a little background about yourself.
My name is Obing Darko. I am a Ghanaian, I'm an entrepreneur, a trainer as an engineer, and I write books as well. I'm an author.
Yes, yes, and you've got some new books.
Yes.
Fresh books, which are on Amazon right now. So this one is Growth and Productivity, Reset, Building Yourself Through African History. So he always talks about knowing your history and where you're from. Okay, Investing in Rental Apartments in Ghana. So how to do it. That's also on Amazon. And Sales Systems, Sales Tactics for Business Growth, Skills to Sell Ideas, Products and Services. All of these are on Amazon right now, so you can go on there and purchase. Mr. Darko, last time we touched on diaspora businesses, and today I really want to talk about why do most businesses fail in Ghana, why they are not successful, why do we not have businesses that live on for 100 years?
All right. Thank you very much. The first interview, you put a lot of light on the books, and we had a lot of engagement from other people as well. And we want to say thank you.
You're very welcome.
For that. I think successful businesses run in structures and systems in a society. Okay. If you look at our country, the structures that are built to sustain businesses, sometimes I call them the P economy, the English economy. Okay. Just like everything in Ghana, where many things would have to be done twice. You know, so we are giving names twice, your English name and some other name. You're speaking P in school, at home, you go to school, you have to learn another language. I think the same with our structure. So you see that many of our businesses are not the ones that we call formal. If you go outside our country to some of these countries that say that they have businesses that have run for centuries, you can see that there are structures that they use. I don't see a lot of those structures for many of our businesses. I think that the government infrastructure are not really built to sustain them. For instance, if you pick a typical business that is in some of these countries, they get some capital injection from some investors, and many times they go to the stock market and float shares, and it lives off the family. In Ghana, many of our businesses are not in that category. How old is our stock market? So obviously, if you look at that structure or that format, then many of our businesses will not live or will not have 100 years to, in terms of sustainability. But if you pick my grandfather, Cocoa Farm, if you pick some of the other people that we say are informal, I think that many of them have left thanks to their children that are older than the country, Ghana.
Okay.
Because a lot of us come from families and backgrounds where our grandparents, bequeathed some kind of properties to their children. And those things did not have to go through these systems that all of us look up to say that these are multinational systems, but at least they are businesses that have outlived the founders and grandchildren are holding. And we can have many of them. You may not put spotlight on them. They may not be the ones that we say are strong businesses, but really, I think if you look at our systems and structures, we still have some of them which are old.
But I think we do need to highlight them, because if we don't highlight them, then we won't know.
The people who carry the camera and, speak in English, those things don't look like businesses to them. The other day I was talking to somebody and they said that statistically, Ghanaian companies collapse maybe multiples of the others. I said that if you go to the market, many of our mothers there have been doing this for 30 years, 50 years. They have taken their children to universities and they still do that. If you go to Makula now, you can have families. They may not have project manager, marketing, that kind of structure.
Right.
But these are businesses that have done a lot of sales of product with just one or two people who founded it.
Right.
And so I think the structure that we are using to measure ourselves and what looks like a business to us are the areas that many times you would have to look at again. So long as the base of support is different, we cannot use the same measurement to measure ourselves. And so if we use their pattern, then many of our businesses will fail. Because we don't have the same support systems, if you want. And that's where many of the people who say, especially Africans who say that they are global, fail to look at. Because you cannot just say that Ghanaian businesses fail or Ghanaian businesses are not everywhere when you don't look at the structures that support these businesses that are able to move from one country to the other.
But don't we want to get into that level though?
So long as we have not built the structure, then we can't. We can't just say with our mouth.
Okay.
We can't just say.
So who should build those structures? Like, how do we get there? Because we need to start from somewhere.
It's the government. I mean, go to England, go to America, go to all these countries. I mean, look at the funding. Look at, even here, interest rate is how much? Even the tax schools.
Right.
Yeah, look at how our regulators work. If you really put spotlight on them, do you think that companies can survive these things and still grow out of Ghana?
Okay.
We probably have to sit down and really think through that these things that we are using to manage our businesses, can they go through this and still survive and have money to expand by themselves when we are not giving them a lot of money? I mean, if you go to borrow and it's 30%, how do you borrow to pay 30% and pay all other things that you have to pay and still have access to expand?
Right.
Which means that the Ghanaian company in Sunyani, who is able to have a branch in Sunyani or only company in Sunyani, I think has done well, just as another company who has been able to move from one of those countries to other countries because of the support, the things that they have to deal with.
Right.
So I'm not so much interested in us going everywhere. I think build a base, make sure that your economy is changed, make sure that you're able to set things in place that local companies can grow.
Okay.
And we don't do that. It's not just about the money. It's about regulations as well. Today, dollar is 10. If tomorrow it moves to 20, how do you survive?
Yeah.
You can't survive. Some of our businesses, we pay rent in dollar.
Yeah.
Over the last 3 years, before the dollar dropped, how much did we have to lose? A lot.
Yeah.
Was that fault ours? No. So how do we grow? How do you measure us with another company in those countries that don't have to have CD devaluation?
Okay.
So I think we ourselves would have to sit down and say that these things that are working for us or against us, if we continue to run things as they are, can we expect our people to grow as they should? I think we have a lot of Ghanaian companies that are doing well, and we should not measure them by how many years that they have survived or which countries that they are operating in.
Okay.
So long as they still have very few tools to work with.
Okay. For me, I want Guba to grow beyond me.
Yes.
Right? I want to make sure that in the next 50 years, it still continues. So all of the things that we're supposed to put in place as entrepreneurs, as business people, I want to make sure that's done. And for it to be that global brand, right? Even though, yes, our headquarters is in Ghana, but I want it to be a global brand that touches everywhere. So I want to make sure that that infrastructure, that structure that you're talking about, we start doing it from now.
Agree. Yes. And a lot of these companies that we talk about, mention any of them, none of them will be global without their government support. As a matter of fact, these companies represent their countries.
Yeah.
Many of them will even go and lobby for contracts, which Ghanaian company has any government official go anywhere to lobby for projects or contracts for them.
Yeah. I know that Nigeria was very intentional about building billionaires, you know, the likes of Dangote, Tony Emelu, you know, all of these names that we hear. The government was very
involved,
deliberate about creating millionaires in the country. And I think that we should be definitely doing the same.
You see that the population size, that's not frivolous. 30 million is not much. If you're in Nigeria and you have just 1% of the market, you can easily go to Togo or Ghana and fight. Take America. If America were to be 30 million, you think that they'll have that money? So just as we said, Nigeria was intentional about it because they have the population and maybe they had the way to say that let's push our people outside. So population plays some part as well.
Okay. I had a text message a few days ago from the BBC and they asked me a question, does Africa need to have billionaires? And I was like, that's a weird question to ask. Like, what do you mean, does Africa need to have billionaires? Of course we need to have billionaires. You know, I spoke to the woman and she was like, yeah, you know, we want to see, because it looks like a lot of the billionaires still don't support the economy, whereas other people, other companies and billionaires who are outside are actually putting into Africa more than the Africans putting in. Do you agree with that?
I don't know why some questions they ask Africans, because you will never ask them, should England have billionaires? Some questions themselves are very much derogatory. Because who would not want to prosper? Yes, and I think Alhaji Dangote, for instance, at least based on the metrics that they have, they say he's very rich in Africa. I think that if he put 10 of them there, he can still match up to them because of what he had to deal with to build this. I was watching his interview that he said that if he had stopped some of the investments that he did and had just put them to buy shares with them, it would be 125 billion. Than what he is now. Which means he said that it's not just about money, but about the value that you create on the continent, particularly in Nigeria. So Africa should not be measured in terms of monetary value, but the value that you create beyond money. So Africa needs wealthy people, and Africa has wealthy people. Especially if a lot of our wealth were in the hands of Africans. Who are the companies mining our gold and diamonds? If you want to create wealth, if you want to have a lot of billionaires in Africa, and you want to use that part that they have used, I'm not sure you will survive. So we just have to look at what really is available to a lot of our people. So we need a lot of wealthy people. We don't really have to measure them as billionaires per se. I think we have a lot of wealthy people that may not have to put number on. Look at our second despite the Northeast guys. They are wealthy. They may not qualify based on the calculations that they use, but they are wealthy. And looking at where they pick themselves and where they are. And so I think they are doing their part. We should not just, I don't know why almost every time somebody would want to judge us, whilst we don't judge anybody. And it's as if we are school children to some people. BBC, focus on the BBC. Let's also focus on our billionaires, I hope.
But for you to be on that international stage, these are some of the platforms that you will get interviewed.
Has Africa ever been part of the international stage?
They have.
Have we?
Oh, yeah.
It's when we are singing and playing football. When it comes to technology and industry, they really don't expect us to be there. How much spotlight have you put on African industrialists? No. They don't think that when it comes to creativity and thinking and technology, it has anything to do with Africa. I was in school and I was talking to this international student rep, and they said that everybody should represent. So I was a part of the African students, and she said that, well, for Africa, maybe some drugs. I said, why should it be drugs?
Oh my goodness.
Others are bringing technology, and what you want us to bring drugs.
No way.
So what do you have to say? I said, no, represent us well. If you expect Japan to come with technology, then don't expect Africans to come with drum.
Wow.
It's the miseducation. And it's not like she is wrong. That's all that she knows. So Africa must come with that which used to be.
But is it us? We're not selling ourselves right? Like, because she doesn't know. All she sees is drums. What are we supposed to do to sell ourselves right?
Nobody taught her about Japan. It's the respect that you have for the people and what you've been taught about them.
But we don't respect ourselves. That's the issue.
I think we do.
Do we?
Yes, we do. We do, because you see a lot of young people trying to do well in Africa. But when media houses from these other continents come, they will not look for those young
But even if you look at the media,
yes.
Pabna,
Yes.
we are selling ourselves bad.
Agree?
Yeah, we don't sell ourselves in a good light, and they pick that and put it on the spotlight on the BBC. The US uses media to highlight America. They use stories, they use videos, they use films to make America look like they're the greatest country in the world.
Okay.
I feel like we don't use the media in Ghana to portray positive things. When you look at America, America is built on Hollywood, right? They've told us stories, Spider-Man, Rambo. Rambo can go somewhere and blow up the whole place. You know, Terminator. All of these movies are of excellence, of conquering, of being powerful. And when you come to the continent, it's comedy, it's any negative stories sell, but we don't pick out the positives and sell those. And so that's why I'm saying we are not selling ourselves right for the BBC to come and say, should we have millionaires? I mean, that's ridiculous.
Even if we sold ourselves well, BBC will still pick the negative one, because growing up, I've not seen them pick a lot of positivity. So I think they have an agenda that they are playing, and they spend a lot of money to put Africa in a certain space, which is underdeveloped and corrupt. People who need somebody to hold their hand. The media people. I think you cannot require or expect anything from any people that you have not intentionally trained for a particular resource. And so we cannot just say that, why do they do that? We should go to how they are trained and the content of their training. We should go to the journalism university and look at what they are being trained with. What is the understanding of journalism in the first place? And who really gave them the first principles, the fundamentals, that this is what journalism is about. I think there is a misunderstanding as to how they can use that powerful tool to develop the minds of their people. I think that they do that only for, the major thing is the politics, isn't it? So everything has to be political, and everything would have to be comedy. So I think much of it, if you want the results to change, we should maybe develop a whole different kind of content for a whole different or new generation of journalists who will see journalism as a developmental tool. Sometimes they say that let's balance the story, but I don't see other people balance any story anyway. They project their own in the positivity. Hardly would you see some of these international media platforms projecting something and saying that this is positive, this is negative.
Right.
They almost all the time project what they want the people to see. Yeah. But when it comes to Africa, they are saying that let's make it balanced. I think that the negativity has gone on so much that we don't have to balance anything now. We really have to tell the stories that will develop the way we see ourselves and the confidence in our people. I agree. We have to do a lot more than what we are seeing, but it will go to how we are training them.
Because even when you look at our TV networks and the type of things that they're showing, it's alcohol, pills for enhancement. Like, these are the things that are channels for our children to be watching. And it's broad daylight. It's not something that they're showing in the evening. This is during the day when the kids are watching TV. And so how are we supposed to develop as a nation if we're seeing all of these things?
Any country who is serious about the development of its people is also very serious about what the people get to hear and see. Ours is not like that. They think that we can watch everything and still be very much very committed to the development of us. No, I think that you have to watch what the people watch, because the minds of the people go where the TV is going, where the radio is going, where the media leaks is what the people think about. There's something that is fundamentally not right with whoever is supervising what.
Right.
So we have left a lot of things to ourselves. We are just like, sometimes I just think we are just like orphans, trying to think that there is a father somewhere who will come.
Yeah.
And so I say that if we want to see development, let the people themselves see what is needed and pick the very things that they need to develop themselves. If you're waiting for the government to really structure what we hear, I doubt that they are there at the moment. They are not. Even if you go to the school, the content, pick any textbook and read it and see what would it become.
Yeah.
You can judge a human being by what he does. If you know much, let's see it. So what we are putting out there, if you're really interested in our development, there should be some bit of concern. So maybe there should be a whole new generation that is very much committed to what our people here see.
It's really important. I think it's extremely important. But back to running businesses, a lot of people also say that when Ghanaians own businesses, there's a lot of financial mismanagement. Do you agree with that? Are we managing our finances right? You wrote books on these type of things.
Yes. The way you manage your finances is based on what you know about finance. And many of us, growing up, nobody taught us anything about money anyway. And so we carry the same thing to our personal finance, and we carry the same thing to the way we manage our businesses. And even we carry the same thing to the way we manage the resources of a nation. You don't just expect anybody to be a carpenter without any proper training. I think money is a subject on its own, that those who have money, they know something that those who don't have don't know. And so if we mismanage the funds of our businesses, it's because really we have not taken upon ourselves to improve our knowledge, literacy on money, or our financial intelligence. You can't really manage a successful business if your financial information is low. And really, you can't even manage your family finance well if your financial intelligence is not there.
Right.
And so I think it's a commitment that all of us would have to make. And it's not really the financial protocol, if you want. 70 to 80% of our businesses, of the people that have been employed, their sources of income are just subsistent self-employment.
Yeah.
If you pick 100 Ghanaians or 100 Africans, 80% of them have their source of income from what they do themselves. They're not employed.
Right.
If you go to other jurisdictions, just about 10% of them are really creating businesses. And when you look at the 70 or the 80% of our people, many of them are not educated with all these complex financial arrangements. And so that's why you can see a Coco seller, or you can see a woman who goes to Nigeria and comes back, or who goes to China, who is building an apartment from the same small business. I think those women, those men know something about money than the people that we send to school who are trying to manage business the way the others manage them without the supporting structure. So if you look at a lot of our businesses that collapse, many of them are the ones that are trying to mimic so-called international, because then the way they run business is so much costly. And yet they don't have a lot of
liquidity
to support that kind of structure. You know, so mismanagement, I'll put it on those who are speaking English. Because they are the ones who are, you know, they run banks, they go into they run this, you know, they're in government institutions, they go for loan and half of it is used to buy cars, you know.
Okay.
Yes, but look at the other woman who didn't have anything.
Right.
And she's been able to work by herself, and now has a business that has been able to put a house and taking the children to school. I think that is a good manager. And those people know something about money, that many of the people that we say have degrees in finance and all this.
Ghana is known to be like a cash society. Everything, you come, you pay, and you take it. In the Western world, it's more credit card. You use your credit card to buy, you pay it on a monthly basis, etc. Do you think that it's good that we are a cash society? Or should it be channeled through the banking?
I don't know how many people in the West can live without credit card, without car.
They can't live without
it. Mortgages.
Yes.
I don't know how many people can go without their salary for how long, maybe.
No, they can't do it without it.
So if that system is right, then they should be able to have a lot of people who don't need salary to live. So long as you need salary to live, you're very far from being financially free or independent. We've been fighting on the street, and we can go without salary because we have learned that. You know, many people would have to live on salary in those countries. The economics that they teach them and what the politicians know, they would want us to have that structure. I really will push for people who are able to be independent of a lot of these consumable loans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's address the elephant in the room. A lot of businesses fail because of friends and family. Why do you think that that is so prominent on the continent?
You have started a business, your brother has nothing to do, you want him to come and help you, but does he have the skill set, the commitment, even the respect for you as somebody who has opened a business, that he would have to follow your instructions? If the training is right, then it's okay. But you don't just create a business and create a position for your brother because it's family. This is business, and sometimes it's a tough call because it's there, it's not effective, it doesn't perform, but you can't sack it. We are very communal people, so we cannot be so much brutal. So there has to be a way that we handle it, so to say. But many times you see that there's a lot of fight when you bring family people, especially when they don't show some kind of gratitude or respect. And the fact that you are trying to take a bullet for all of them. You know, so the family member that you should employ, I think, should be the one who sees your importance and the role that you are playing as somebody who has been able to create something for them to live on. You know, if you don't see that, then sometimes I don't think. But
we see that, and then we get them involved in the business, and then they're the ones that kind of destroy the business.
When you're starting and you're ignorant, you may make that mistake. But as you grow, I think if you want your business to survive, you strike a balance. Maybe you can't sack them per se, but you may not put them at a place where so much will depend on them until they prove themselves to be some people who can be dependent on.
All right. Yeah. So it's best not to get family involved, because when you get your family involved, it's like registering your business, you put your family members in there,
Yes.
right? Just so that, because you feel confident that they're your family member, but they're the ones that sometimes let you down.
Yes, they will let you down. Yes, but outsiders will also let you down. So it's a bullet. Business is tough anyway. But I think that there are family people who are good. I think it's a place of character. They should prove themselves that they deserve the position.
But they feel self-entitled that they...
When your father didn't give you that money, if the business is funded by our parents, maybe they are entitled to that. But if you are fighting to build that all by yourself, then you must have a say. Of course, it's your brother, it's your sister, you have heart for them. But for the business to work, I think there should be some kind of rules. And it's so painful to see your brother struggle. Right. But if they are disrespectful or they are not committed to the vision, I think you should help them to maybe set up on their own than trying to put them in a position where they really don't want to be there. And they can't take your leadership, they can't take your instruction. You will spend a lot of time trying to fight or keep the relationship than building a business. But I will not go straight to say that no family, because I've seen a friend of mine, his brother is taking a lot of load off him because the brother qualifies. He has respect for him. Right. They come from a family where they didn't have anything. And even the brother had to pay his school fees for him to finish university. And the brother did not go to university. Now the brother has some class, but the one who comes after him, or the junior brother, with some bit of university education, is doing so much. And he still has a lot of respect for his senior brother. If your family is in that position, you can't say that because it's family and I don't want family to come close. No, because he's proven himself to be somebody you can depend on.
Right.
I think if you have a brother or a sister in that position, you're better off.
They come as if they're angels.
Yes.
And you give them the opportunity. I remember my husband was building, used a family member to do the electrician stuff. And later on, he's the one that's betraying us, right? Yeah. And trying to sabotage what we're doing.
Yeah.
The way they come humble, dama, that dama too is another thing that I hate, because it's like they come so humble.
Yes.
But then when you give them the opportunity, they stab you in the back.
Okay, so when you see a dog and it's humble, you don't pick a stick. But when they start to back, you have to. So when there's changing character, you have to change their position. So they can come in as if they're good, no problem. But eventually you see it. And many times people can hide their character.
But at that time, it's too late though.
No, but they can hide their character. You will hear. When you say something, you go, they change it. Every instruction you give them, go and do this, you see that they will come and tell you why they didn't follow what you said.
There's a lot of people in the diaspora that have not come back to Ghana because of family.
Yeah.
Some of them have sent money. There was this video that went viral. She sent loads of money to her brother to build a property for her. She came back. There was nothing. Nothing. Yes. Not even a foundation at the land. Yeah. And this was family. This was blood.
Okay. I think that if that person sent money to somebody who was not family, the person will follow, isn't it? Will follow up with the money. How do you send money to your brother to build something for you and you don't follow up?
He was sending pictures, but it wasn't pictures of the place.
Okay, so if it were an outsider, what would the person have done?
Got him arrested.
Get another person to cross-check, isn't it? And the family is a tough one. I'm not trying to defend people's, character. But the fact that you want to build something, it's a house that you're building. It's money that you have sweated for. You can't just give it to him and take pictures.
I beg to differ.
That's right.
I mean, if my youngest is in Ghana and I'm sending her money to buy me a boboya, I don't have to cross-check. She's my sister. She's my blood sister.
Is this the first time she's doing something for you?
It doesn't matter.
No.
I don't think it matters, because that's your family. You should be able to trust your family to do something.
That if it's not done, it's family.
No, of course.
You want time, isn't it?
Yes.
And has the person proving themselves?
I don't think they need to prove themselves because they're family.
Okay,
that's something
sometimes I work with family. They're in charge of a project. I still cross-check.
So is it a Ghanaian thing that you need to cross-check?
No, once you're doing something, you're handling a project, you're handling a business. It's of requirement that you check. You're leading something. You can't just base it on the fact that you are my family, so I won't cross-check. No, it's something that you want to deliver. It's a project, it's a business. You must supervise. How can you get results from something that you don't supervise well? So I don't think the problem is even with the brother who didn't do the work. If you are the leader, then you must be the leader. If it fails, don't put it on that person. Take the responsibility to say that along the line, I miss it. If you want any project to be done, just like the president now, if the administration fails, he cannot blame his ministers. You are the leader. I think leadership is required for any success story.
Okay.
And so if you sleep on your job, you cannot just say that Ghanaians are not trustworthy or because of my brother. If it is, if I put anybody in charge of anything and that person squanders the money, I didn't do my job well. It should not just be on trust. It's money, it's a business, it's project. You must look at something. Let's say you're a surgeon. You see the practices that they go through, the protocols that they go through to make sure that somebody is cut.
Yeah.
It's a process. It doesn't matter whether you're my friend or you're my cousin. We are doing surgery on somebody. These are the protocols. You are doing a business. If you put somebody in a project, these are the things that you must follow. And so you are building a house for me, your family, no problem. I trust you. But these are the things that we are going to follow if you have to get it done. It has nothing to do with you being my brother or my sister. So I think leadership is what gets a lot of things done. And many times people would want to take that one out. If it fails, it's you.
Wow.
It's painful.
It's very painful because you're paying them in the process.
Yes, but it is you. If they chop that money, don't blame them alone. They chop 1, 2, 3.
She came and there was no property there.
Yes. What was the supervisory skill? Did she manage it? This is something that you're putting 100,000 in. It's no joke. $200,000. Would you give that money to a stranger?
No, you will give it to family.
It's a project. It's not family. It's a project. You want a house built. You must manage the processes. If it's not done, don't accuse that person. You're part.
Wow.
You go to, let's say the president gives somebody, you say, oh, you are in charge of this project. It's so dear to me. I leave it, go and do everything. You trust him, but you are the president. Your name is on it. You must meet him. And all people who deliver, leaders who deliver, they can tell you. It doesn't matter it's their wife who is in charge. They will cross-check. They will supervise. They will get update. Because that's how you get anything done.
That's tiring.
Yes. But have you seen anybody who is successful? They don't sleep.
Thank goodness.
They don't sleep. You want productivity, high performance.
Right.
There's nobody who is performing at the very top level who does not have these skills. No, it's human entity that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
It's human character. They are full of emotions. They can do things that you're not happy with.
True.
You want the project done. You must have what it takes to get it done.
So should we avoid employing family and friends?
No, you still have people work with us, family. You have a lot of troubles with them. I think it's the skill set to lead anything. For let's say the production that is going on here, there's a leader, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you finish this project and the videos are not on the card, who do you blame? You blame the leader, not the one in charge of the camera. No, you can be an expert, but at the end of it, somebody is responsible for the delivery, and I think that's what we have to take.
So we've spoken about financial literacy. We touched on that. How big is the financial gap when it comes to Ghanaian entrepreneurs?
Financial gap. They should understand the systems, every jurisdiction and the financial systems that operate there. For the level that I understand. For our businesses, we don't have investors. Many times we don't have overdrafts. We work with the little that we have and we manage it well. I think if you are in that category, you must have proper financial skill set, which means you track all the money all the time. I mean, they say every day, if you rent, make sure that you're following it because every little drop is directly coming to you, So I think that commitment to follow the sequence, how much is in the account, how much is on your mobile money, those things every day, following them is key. If you're going to borrow, you don't just borrow to say that, they want to give me 10 million. At what cost?
Yeah.
How much interest are you paying every month or every year? So sometimes you may not even have to build an office or buy a car if you're paying attention to how much allowance that your business, sometimes you may not even have to employ.
Okay.
Why? Because of the allowance that you have. That's right. So if you take your eyes off the finances, then it will drop. Many of our business people don't really understand the complexities of the financial systems that we have.
All right.
And much of it is because the things that we are taught financially in school, if you come out to practice business, they are not really what you have to deal with. Yeah. So I say pay attention. If you have a lot of debt in your business and you can't pay, it means that you don't have what it takes. You honor your checks don't go through. You promise people and you continue to shift the position. Your car breaks down and you can't handle it. And it's been going on for years. It means that you really don't have grip on money.
Right. And what about proper record keeping?
Absolutely. How do you measure something if you don't have the proper data on it? So at least having an exercise book, having a computer, keeping data on the purchases that you make, the expenses that you make, the sales that you make is key. And I think if there is one skill that will make you successful in our kind of structure, I think is your ability to follow your sales, your expenses constantly. To know where the business is and which allowance do you have. To succeed in our system, it's entirely different. And that's why many people struggle. If you go to open a bank account in Ghana, nobody puts anything on it. The card that they have given you is not credit card, it's debit. If you don't have money in it, nothing clicks. You know, so this is your reality.
Right.
Which means if you want to have a new machine, you really have to pay attention. To say, do I really need this machine?
Right.
Or have to rent for a while?
Okay.
If you need a new car, you have to ask yourself. If you have to build an office, you have to ask yourself. Even if you are taking money from the business to build your house, you should really ask yourself, is the business at that point that I can build a house or buy a car out of it? If you're following it, you will be able to see when it's okay that you can breathe to take substantial money from your business. Other than that, because you're on your own. That's the reality.
That's true.
You're on your own. So many of us, we really have to be very much stringent with how we manage our finances to be successful here.
Yeah. And what would you say to diasporans who are coming in, they have money, but they don't know how money moves in Ghana?
Even if we come with millions, make sure that the business that you want to do, you model it, it becomes successful before you expand it. Okay. There's this lady and her husband, they came from Canada. Okay. They follow what we teach, so they relocated.
Oh, wow.
They came with money, but they wanted to go into poultry farm. Our policy is that if you have not done it, don't put all your money in it.
Right.
Do it at a small level. Try it. Get to know everything in the chain. So they went for just about 400 beds. And now they have X now. So the next step is maybe they can do 2,000 or 10,000 beds because now they have basic. If you go to any manufacturing plant, they have something that they have done, the prototype.
Yeah, the prototype.
They get it right, the model is working, and then you can multiply it.
Okay.
And so when you come, I don't think that you should just come and splash your money like that. Understand what you're working with. Okay. Understand it, and then if it's working well, then you can expand it. Okay. That's how you succeed here. Just behave like the person here who does not have money. The money that you have come with, it doesn't change the game so much. You can lose every money just by one wrong decision.
It's true.
And you go back. And the same people, somebody is here, didn't have that money that you have. And they've been able to build something. Why? Because of the things that they learn along the way. Right. So it really is knowing what to do, the skills, where to step, who to call. Those things are far more important than just the money. Many people say that, I need money to start business. Many of them do have money, but they are not starting business. Because business is not just about the money that you have, but knowing what to do and having a commitment.
The knowledge, Yes. In developed countries, it's normal for people to get credit lines, get investors. Does it work the same way in Ghana?
Yes, there's a section of Ghanaians, like yourself, you are internationally connected. The sad thing is that 99% of us are not like you. When if you want to get visa, we go and queue with the sun. So only there are businesses in Ghana who have that, who have international partners, and they work with that. The sad thing is that many of the things that they do don't go down to the masses because of maybe the money that you're using.
So is it advisable to get investors if you have a business plan?
If I have money and you come with a business plan, I won't give you money. I know what it takes to really endure in our system to have something to work. You must have proven that you can do it.
Wow.
It's not just the money that you need. People will lose the money in a minute. What it takes to build something here is entirely different from just having money. So you will give the money to the young man. You think that he has written a very nice business plan. When you're doing the business, you see that the business plan and what you have to do are entirely different.
It was used AI. AI was used.
You open a shop and the AMA is coming to lock you because you have not paid the permit.
Wow.
And the next day, GRA is on your neck. Senate is here. Your workers are running away. They want to go to Dubai. Can you manage all those streams? Your family that you employ, they are fighting with you. The other girl, Okobompai. So I know people who have opened factories and they still cannot manage the streams.
But Kwabena, if you are a business person, you've written a proposal that you want investment. The investor expects you to have done all of these due diligence before coming to them.
If the person has not run it on the ground, they don't know what they are doing. The person that I will bet on is the person who is doing it.
Okay.
Let's say somebody says that I want to start a maize farm. He's written a business plan for, let's say, maybe 100 acres or 1,000 acres. But he's done 10 acres.
Okay.
And he wants money to do expansion, maybe buy better machines. That's somebody you can bet on.
Okay.
Yeah, he has gone through it. But he has never done anything. and he's written a business plan for 100. The other day we were on BZFM and this guy came. We want to start water processing plant, and his business plan is 750,000, and he's looking for an investor. Say, have you done it before? No. He said, you don't need somebody to give you money. Let's go and try it. You can go to somebody who has a setup already.
Right.
Print your labels and produce it and sell it.
Yeah.
Or go to somebody who is already producing it. Start to sell something to understand what it really means to run a business in our country. This 750,000, have you made 10,000 yourself before?
Yeah, it's true.
Unless the person is just giving you the money for free. Really, many people will not give you money if you have not been processed as an entrepreneur. It's not just a book. I can sit here and just write anything and give you. I can run a whole refinery. Give me $30 billion. I have no idea where to go, who to go. So the success is contingent on who is leading the business and his practical skills. So business plan, maybe it will work for some people, but many of our people, if you give money to people that have never done anything and they lose their money, don't worry, you just gambled.
Do you think Ghana's investment environment is ready for startups seeking millions of dollars?
Our environment is different. So maybe there are some success stories. But I don't know which industry. I think people must prove that they have done it.
Okay.
That's what I see. A lot of young people are just saying that, okay, I'm doing an IT company, I've written something, I'm looking for this or international organization to give me money. I wish them well, but that's not the part that I used. So I'm not used to writing to people to give me money to do something. I think that if I have the idea, the later that I have, I'll start it and see. Maybe it's my background, maybe where I come from. Maybe I'm not so much connected to people who can just say, even up to date, I don't know how many big men will say that I'm not take 100 million, go and put it to something. I don't know how many. Maybe I've not gone to do them. And I don't know how many people have tried that. I think instead of me to try whoever should give me money, I work with what I have. And maybe if they see it, they may put money in it. I don't know.
Have you got any personal stories of business that has gone wrong?
A lot of them. A lot of them. There was this project that we picked. This is about 12 years ago.
Okay.
And we're so sure it's a semi-government project.
Okay.
We're so sure that when we do the project, they will pay us money. So we went to borrow somebody's money.
Oh my God.
And we projected that 3 months they will pay. It took over 2 or 3 years.
Whoa.
And we agreed to pay a lot of interest on that person. And the sad thing is that we took that money, we took it in CD and the person converted it to dollar. And the dollar moved from 3 to 5 in no time. And this woman was ballistic. So a lot of things that have failed, we have done a lot that have failed. It's because when you begin as somebody who is not trained, who didn't come from a background where parents taught you, no school, nothing, I think your only bet is that you continue to do it until you become a better person in terms of your decision making. When you start business and those things continue to happen, don't give up. Because of the depth that you're coming from, that's why you're making a lot of errors like that. As you continue to polish yourself, you get to a point where you start to understand what you're doing. And that's why many entrepreneurs will fail many times. Why? Because decision making is not so much proper. Because maybe we didn't have people who grew up with. And I didn't come from that. So we made a lot of errors. And we didn't give up because that is the only option.
There's no other option.
So for me, the failing in your journey in building business is something that I think is a big deal. It's not. Yes, it's not.
Are you sure? I've just invested 10,000.
But if that intention, why did you lose it?
But I've invested 10,000 pounds of my savings that I've come to set up a business, and it's failed.
You lost it because you didn't know what you were doing.
I've lost it because of the people around me that didn't support me to do it right.
Take responsibility. Take responsibility. You cannot put it on.
But you've employed people that are supposed to be knowledgeable to be able to help you to move the business.
You're supposed to be the leader, the founder. Everything falls.
But you don't know everything as a founder. That's why you employ people in the right positions to do the right thing.
Whose debt is this now? Is it their debt or yours?
It's mine.
That's right. The moment everything falls on you, you still have employed people, but you can't leave it for everybody. So I think it's a process that you're learning. That's why many times if you begin early, you have an advantage. Let's say you are just a single person and you're fighting. So by the time that you start to have family or you start to have some people to take care of, you have really gone through that phase. Because when you're starting, it's like that. Until it starts to go up. It doesn't matter how much you start with. You're going to learn on the job. And that's entrepreneurship. It's a skill.
It's a costly one. It's a costly one.
Absolutely. That's why very few people are actually financially successful. Because the journey is very tough. It's very difficult.
Very tough.
Yes. But which other way can you use? That's it. So you lose your 10,000 because probably you just bet on it. All your 10,000. That's why we are saying that if you are not somebody skilled already, try with the little. Why do you start with your 10,000?
Okay.
You want to start a provision shop. You have gone to Jolu to rent a very nice shop. And you say your last money is 10,000.
Yeah.
And why did you go to Jolu in the first place? Why did you rent that shop in the first place? Why didn't you go to maybe another place that the rent is what?
Cheaper.
Yes.
Right.
And try to learn it. And the people that I've seen who have become successful in a country who didn't have much to start with, that is the path that they took. Organic growth.
Okay.
Yes. Those who came with money, I don't know how many of them succeed. Because the behavior of the workers, the government,
Yeah.
all those, they cut across, whether you are at East Legon or at another place. So I would say it's a learning process. Okay. That's why the child who is 2 years, who is starting to walk, will not have to run.
Yeah, steps.
What the guys who are doing a lot can handle is because they've been processed. I said it. If you lose the money, for me, it's just a part of the learning. Wow. It's painful, but you should have made a better decision than what you made.
Okay, if you had one piece of advice that you wanted to give somebody who wants to start a business in Ghana, what advice would it be? Ask
yourself, if you're an employee and you're transitioning to become an employer, you can't come with the same mindset. Okay. Or you're waiting for monthly salary, somebody to take care of you. Once you start a business, it's a full commitment. Okay. And when you start it, give yourself a lot of time. And you're going to make a lot of mistakes. And so look at areas that have special need or a lot of need. Whatever that you have, whatever that you're producing, if there is no need for it, your business is non-starter. So look at the community. Is there any need? Look for the problems in the society and their people's ability to pay for that solution that you're offering, that product that you're offering. Right. You cannot go and maybe you go to a village and you want to offer solutions and charge them just as you're charging in Accra. It won't make sense. But there is a need for that. So business really is solving problems. So if you open your eyes, you see that maybe there's no drugstore here, there's no school here, there's no water here, there's no toilet here. There's maybe Susu, you can start a microfinance here. There's a need for that. Right. And if you commit to that need and you work over long term, you will do well. Okay. And look at your background. What are the skills that you have? Right. What are the technical understanding that you have? Can you build a business? Do they meet the need in that society? Right. And then you should be somebody who is also very much passionate about what you're offering. Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. So I know I touched on the books, but can you just give us an overview on the sales systems, what that's about? Sales systems talks about sales. Every business is into selling something. Okay. And the best way to start a business in our country is just look for something and sell. Okay. if you have something that you can sell and there's a need for it, that's a good start. Okay. Why? Because you start to see money from day one. Okay. All right. The real estate. Real estate, there's a big difference between the real estate that many of us, without any investor, any funding, would have to do, and the one who has some kind of investors from somewhere. Okay. So you have to look at areas that the category of real estate that there is need. Okay. You don't have to have a lot of money. Go to the district capitals and see people are looking for a single room, self-contained, and you are in Accra buying land 500,000. Once that 500,000 can get you maybe 20 units in a village, it becomes a property and you can be proud of. Reset, building yourself through African history. The best education that you have to give to yourself is knowing your history, your tradition, your heritage, your identity. Okay. If a human being does not have that, there's no other thing that is important. You must know yourself. And as Africans, a lot of the problems that you talk about, much of it is coming from that. Okay. Where we don't seem to see ourselves as a full blessed people because of the kind of data that we have about ourselves. And so many of our people, he's a doctor here and he would want to leave and become something somewhere. He's an engineer here. Why? Because of the history. For me, what changed the game was when I started to study our history. Yes. And history repairs your mind to see the world differently. It actually makes you enjoy life. Because then you can put a lot of things in perspective, especially knowing your history as an African. Wow. And then growth? Growth, if you're not growing, you're dying. So you must grow. Once the model is working, you must start to expand. Okay. Yes, because if you have one shop and there's fire, you're gone. But if you have 3 of them and one is bent, at least you have 2 that is left. The best way to leverage the pain that you go through as an entrepreneur is always when it starts to work, you expand. Okay. That's why the mother is happy and forgets the pain. Yeah. During the pregnancy, when the child is born. Then you go for it again, you're like, why? Yes. Then you remember that why. Yeah. So the way to mitigate the pain is to go for growth.
Absolutely.
Leverage the experiences that you had over time.
Absolutely. So if people want to connect with you, how do they connect with you?
My books are on Amazon.
Okay.
And I have channel Obey.com is on YouTube, is on TikTok, is on Facebook. Maybe 70% of it is in P.
Okay.
And that is intentional.
Yes.
Because I see that the masses that need this kind of business,
Right.
self-development, technical knowledge are the ones that may not necessarily understand a lot of English. And so we are not thinking of global. We are thinking of building our house first. And when
Okay.
our house is built, I think some of them will take it to the next step.
Okay.
So a lot of what we do is in Tree, actually. Well, we have few of them, like yours,
Yes,
in English.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. So lastly, for diasporans who are eager to come and set up businesses in Ghana, what would you advise them?
Go for financial freedom.
Okay.
And the best way to have freedom and to build wealth is business.
Okay.
All over the world. If you go to any community that people have created wealth themselves, it's through business. Many of us, very few people are paid $1 million a year in any currency.
Right.
But you have a lot of small businesses who are doing those figures.
Okay.
Why? Because business is the way that you provide solutions and you get money from it. So I don't think that you should stay away from business in any form if you want financial freedom. And nobody should control your money. You should get to a point where you don't have to exert your own time to make
Right.
money. You should be able to organize your money to a state where money starts to give you money. And that's the point that you start to have freedom. That you can say that I want to sleep or I want to wake up. I want to go to Dubai or I want to go to Kenya.
Yes.
Because now you control your own destiny. And there's no way to control your destiny than to control your money as well.
Thank you so much for joining me on the show again. I'm sure you're going to be back again.
Yes, madam.
Because our conversations are always engaging, inspiring, and thought-provoking.
Yes, madam.
So again, thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Thank you.
I hope that you have enjoyed the conversation with me and Mr. Kwabena of Obey.com.